I would say when we met, Scott knew for sure what our relationship was going to look like.
Yeah, we had mutual friends, and we never really met each other. But the night I met her, I really liked her. I was like, hey, I'm really into this girl, and I got my buddy to go with me to go spend some more time with her. And after hanging out with her that night for several hours, I went home with him, and we were heading home. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna marry that girl. And he looked at me like I was crazy. But,
As one should.
So from there, I pursued her with the intent of, I want to make something out of this. I want this to be a relationship for life.
Yeah, so I think we both had, that was the biggest thing, is we both had that intent. I know when he was the first person I dated after I'd become a Christian, and so I was for sure not wanting anything casual. I wanted to make sure that whoever I was dating, I was going in with the intent that I wanted to have this lead into marriage. And so we both really had that mindset when we started dating, even though we broke up after like a few weeks. We had the mindset. We had the mindset that we weren't just going to mess around, and that we really wanted to make sure that that was the person that we were going to be serious about, and if not, we weren't going to pursue anything. And then
I think a pivotal point in our relationship was early on. We had actually sat down and we had talked about what it means to be in love, and like, what does that look like? And she had actually said something that just was really stuck with me, that love is more than just the looks and the early passion that you have, that love is a choice. That sometimes you need to continue to choose to love the person you're with. Because it's not always easy. We're flawed humans, and we get upset with each other. And you know, when you're fighting, you don't want to be like, oh, I really love that person when I'm angry. But the truth is, you have to make that choice to love, to continue to pursue and commit to that person.
And if you can add this or not, with us, I broke up with him after a few weeks, and I had a lot of people in my life that were mentors telling me that I was just supposed to date him, and I was really confused because I was putting so much pressure on, I think, the fact that it had to be serious or not, that I didn't really know what I wanted. And so when I had people in my life telling me, I think God wants you to date him, I had to do what I felt God was telling me to do, and I did feel like God was telling me to date him. And so that's what I did, and then we were engaged in 3 months, and we were married 4 months later. So within 7 months of knowing each other, we were married. But I really think that that was the biggest part, is going in with the serious intent, and then deciding that we were going to do what God wants for our relationship, really, because otherwise I don't know if I would have been able to fully relax into being in a relationship, because I had to know that God wanted it.
Well, our dating relationship was actually in 2 phases, because when we first met in high school, and I was Mike's prom date for his graduation, but then there was a 7-year lag time in there where he moved to the U.S. and I was living in Canada, and so when we re-met, I felt the need that we really needed to define the relationship, because I had him over for dinner because we had been longtime friends. And I had just been through a 2-year relationship, and so I really did not want to get involved with anybody, and certainly somebody who was planning to go to Africa. So I had him over for dinner. We had a great dinner, and then I just said to him, I said, you really need to know that this is completely platonic relationship here. I'm not interested in dating anyone, so it's so great seeing you, but we're just going to, it'd be fun to do stuff together this summer, but that's all, it's not going anywhere. And he's like, well, great, I really needed to know that, because I'm definitely going to Africa, and I don't want to be with someone who's not interested in going to Africa. So we were good. We had it all set, and it was very clear. And so that gave us a lot of freedom that summer to have a lot of fun, because there was no expectation of it going anywhere beyond what we had defined. And so I would say the freedom to really, just have very frank and open discussions was actually really laid the foundation for what came next.
Then, as we continued to hang out over the course of that summer, we both started to realize that this was a different relationship than we had been in before. And so was this actually God bringing us together? But I think when the end of the summer, before I was to return back to Texas and leave Canada and go back to Texas, we needed to talk and to know what were the parameters if we were to continue and actually let this go to a relationship that where we were pursuing marriage. And it did come down to the issue of calling. I knew that I had been called by God to go to Africa, and that He was not going to put things in the way that would take that calling away. And so for Lorraine, that was a challenge, because I was definitely a package deal. It was not just would she date me, but would she also date what God had called me to do. And so that actually was, in the second discussion, it was a lot of, well, how would I know that? What would that look like? And what was very clear was, well, I need time to think that. I need to actually have time away from me, which was good. I was going back to Texas. And then she needed to pursue, what did God want for her? Was God redirecting her to somewhere that she would then, she would receive a call too that would match mine, and then that would be confirmation that God was bringing us together.